Welcome, I'm Renaya, and today we cover another portion of our ongoing series. But first, consider the following two questions. Question 1. Question 2. And both to be answered now on today's Food to Go, Ancient Words for Modern Man. Let's begin. Verse 1. Set thy heart upon thy goods, and say not, I have enough for my life. So what do we mean by setting your heart on your goods? Well, at first it can seem like the author is asking the person to have a selfish take, to focus, like where your treasure is, your heart lies. But when we dig a little bit deeper and we look at the second portion of this verse, it's telling us clearly that we should not get to a point where we are looking at ourselves and we're putting it in a barn, so to speak, and saying, I'm good, while everyone else around us may not be in the same state. So when we set our heart upon our goods, we're actually looking at how we can actually go out and help others with what we have prospered with. Verse 2. Follow not thine own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart. So here we have verse 1 and verse 2 working in tandem with one another. So if we're setting our heart on the goods that we have, it's the opposite of us doing it just exclusively for ourselves. And to walk in the ways of another, to walk in the ways of the Most High, is to escape that selfish slant that we have over everything. So we may have enough food, store it up, but are we helping our fellow man if he's hungry? If we have a surplus of cash, if we have money that we can give to someone in benevolence, are we giving it? Are we keeping it to ourselves? This is telling us not to walk in the ways of our own hearts, and that's what our hearts would typically do, look out only for self. Verse 3, and say not, who shall control me for my works? For the Lord will surely revenge thy pride. So here we come to our first question. What does a selfish heart declare? And it simply says, who shall control me? Who's going to be checking up on me? Who really can say anything that's going to change my heart? Now, obviously, the answer is the Lord, according to this verse. But that's what someone who is selfish, that's someone who is foolish within their hearts, what they would say, acting as though there is no principle of sowing and reaping in this world. People have called it karma or other Gentile terms. What goes around comes around is another way of saying it. But in the end, we still have that principle of the harvest that's at work, that's in effect. Verse 4. Say not I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me? For the Lord is long-suffering, he will in no wise let thee go. So now we come to our second question. What do fools ask after sinning? And they say, no harm has happened to me. I can continue doing whatever I want, and who's going to stop me? And we forget that the Most High is watching everything, and his long suffering is different than ours. Where we may lose our temper shortly, the Most High can wait 1,000 years to let things go, ride, and then boom, all in 1 second. And then it's too late to make clean repentance at that point in time. And if you're caught in the particular sin or atrocity that you've been doing and thinking no one has been seeing you, there you will remain. Verse 5. Concerning perpetuation, be not without fear to add sin unto sin. So if we're trying to come back to the Most High, we should be fearful. If we're looking at something, if we're touching something, if we're dabbling in any type of affair that we know is unjust, that is counter to the Most High's royal law. So if we know there's a chance that we're going to defraud somebody and we're doing that business transaction anyway, we should be fearful of that, knowing that the Most High will wreak havoc on us if we're found in that state in the end. Same thing if we are trying to extrapolate some property, gold, silver, whatever it may be, if we're actually outright stealing from somebody, then that should be also something of a grievous nature to our hearts as well, because the Most High will punish us accordingly. Verse 6. And say not, his mercy is great, he will be pacified for the multitude of my sin. For mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation resteth upon sinners. So we can look at the generous nature of the Most High, see that the world's continue going on. At the same time, especially during these last days, we can see this coronavirus sweeping land, and how many people's hearts are panicking. Well, this is what it's saying. He has mercy and wrath that comes from him. And you may think, while there's no action being taken against you specifically, that the Most High is being pacified. Oh, he's chill, he's just like me. And that the multitude of your sin is as though you never did it. And you can continue doing whatever you want. No remorse, no acknowledging or confessing your faults to one another, and no attempt at all. But here's what the Most High says in the end. His indignation, his wrath, his anger will continue to rest upon the person who sins. Let's review. Now for our sword ready verse. And that's a wrap. Until next time, Shalom.